Hi, I'm Jason Sterling. This is an RM Cascadian travel vlog, and today we're looking at my and my son's trip on the Carnival Vista and the food available on the Carnival Vista. Now, we're going to start with an overview of the food on the Vista. I will say right off the bat, this applies to pretty much Carnival ships in general, this review. And with the exception that the Vista does have more options, the Vista and ships in that class, than any other class except for, Mardi Gras. So there are more options, but only a few more. It really does apply. I'm also going to give these two caveats before we get started here. First caveat is this. The Lido buffet is a buffet. Okay, it's a buffet. And being out on the water is not going to make it any better than any buffet on land. And I say that because I have seen time and time and time again, people who will leave reviews, not just for Carnival, but Royal Caribbean, NCL, what have you, complaining about the buffet. And apparently they have found that buffet, that has the world-class chef that personally prepares your food. And it's got like 3 Michelin stars. And it's a 5-star restaurant. Now, I haven't found that. The buffets I found have been like Golden Corral and First Cafeteria and maybe a couple of casino buffets. That's what I found. And compared to those options, yeah, Carnival definitely holds its own compared to those options. And in fact, it's probably a little bit better simply because there are so many people eating there that the food turns over really fast and it doesn't have a lot of time to sit around, right? So that's it. Buffet is a buffet is a buffet. The other thing is the MDR is banquet food. Okay, so if you go to a large wedding or a convention or any place that they're serving hundreds of guests plated food, that's what the MDR is. Again, it is not a 5-star restaurant. It's not a Michelin-starred restaurant. It's going to be on par, I would say, with higher quality, a higher quality end on that type of food service, but that's what it is. It's like banquet food. Now, in general, I have found it to be pretty good with this exception. I came across this exception and I'll start running it here. I don't know why I was filming this. I do not believe it was my son's first time to eat mussels. My son eats things very well. He likes to try new things. He has a pretty wide palate. He likes most stuff. But as you can see with this, I don't know what went wrong here. I really don't. But that face and those eyes, it was not good. Now, that's the exception. Why was I filming? Why was I recording? I don't know. I really don't. I just got lucky and caught that because that's a priceless moment. That is the exception. Usually we really like everything in the MDR. I do think it's on the higher end of a banquet style dining. Now, I'm going to take this as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, a general overview of breakfast, lunch, and dinner instead of a day knocking out, right? On this day, I had da. So we're going to start with breakfast. Okay, now for breakfast, I'm not a real big breakfast person. I don't eat a lot of breakfast. I might order coffee and pastry to my room. But typically what I do is go down to the cafe and buy an Irish coffee. And then right off the cafe in Ocean Plaza, they have breakfast set up there, like a small breakfast. I want to call it a buffet. It's not really a buffet. It's too small. It's not Lido, you guys. But it is right there on deck 5, right by the coffee bar. And they're going to have some pastries and some fruit. I think there's usually like egg there, some sort of egg and maybe a couple of breakfast meats, right? Some breads. So I will usually maybe grab something there, maybe grab like one piece of pastry or a piece of fruit. That's me in breakfast. Breakfast is offered, of course, in the MDR, although On C days, it's a C day brunch that runs all the way through lunch. It's offered naturally back in the Lido buffet, just like and Ocean Plaza is just a smaller version of that. And then the Blue Iguana Cantina has a sort of Tex-Mex breakfast with breakfast burritos, stuff like that. I've never tried the Blue Iguana. It looks very popular. I'm sure it's very good. I've had it at lunch, and it's excellent at lunch. So I'm sure the breakfast is always good. But as far as breakfast, that's it. That's kind of what they have. The C-Day brunch I'll cover with lunch, but me and breakfast, that's it. That's it. More often than not, it's going to be coffee and pastry, and they're fine. Typical carnival type pastry. The one thing I don't understand is the cafe does sell donuts, but they don't sell them at breakfast. Okay, almost like the person running the cafe doesn't realize that, especially in Texas and your mostly American audience, we eat donuts for breakfast. If they're for sale, I would buy them at breakfast time. I do usually buy them, like I might buy them late at night and then take them to my room. And then my son and I will have them the next morning for breakfast. So we do that. That is an option. That's something we do. Now, for lunch, you have a ton of options. Okay, free lunch on Carnival. Free lunch on Carnival. Oh my God. For one thing, you have more places to eat at lunch than you do at dinner. Second thing, they're all free except for one. Everything at lunch is free. We're going to start with Guy's Burgers. Oh my God, they're so good. If you've heard it, if you've seen it other places, I can confirm Guy's Burgers is an excellent burger place. The fries are the fries are my favorite. Burgers are fantastic. Get the burger with the onion rings on it, or get the burger with the fried onions on it. It's so good. It's really, really, really good. You also have the Blue Iguana Cantina. As I mentioned, I've had that at lunch numerous times. Always really good. Tex-Mex. Definitely better. It looks like a counter service, right? It's definitely, and it is, but it's definitely better than, say, Taco Bell. It's much more like a restaurant quality. It just happens to be served at a counter, but the quality of what they serve is more restaurant quality. It's excellent. Highly recommend it. You're going to also have the pizza place. Pizza's 24 hours a day, so you always have pizza. You have the buffet. The buffet, here's a weird thing. A lot of people separate this out. The buffet has a Mongolian wok and a deli that look like just counters of the buffet, just other serving stations of the buffet. It's what it always looks like to me, but people oftentimes do separate those out. My thought is because the Mongolian wok and the buffet are both made to order. Okay, Mongolian wok and the deli. I said buffet. Mongolian wok and the deli are both made to order. Where the buffet, you just get it served. That's my thought. So you have both of those as well, along with the buffet. Now, you also have Guy's Pig and Anchor, which is, again, an excellent barbecue place. It's down on Deck 5, not usually as crowded. Macaroni and cheese is fantastic. Coleslaw is fantastic. The sort of baked beans are fantastic. And the meats, the smoked meats, needless to say, fantastic. Get yourself a plate of that. Throw some sauce on there. Super, super good. Now, if there's a line, it's a little bit of a secret. Ocean Plaza right inside will convert from breakfast to lunch. And they usually have Guy's Pig and Anchor in there. So you can go and kind of serve yourself. And it's oftentimes faster. It's inside. Ocean Plaza will sometimes also have like a salad bar set up. Sometimes they'll have like a tasting bar that might have items from the pay restaurants, set up. Keep your eye on Ocean Plaza. A lot of times there's something there to eat, and it's quick and easy and not crowded on Deck 5. Now, in addition to that, you've also got, of course, the MDR. The MDR, as I said, on C days, that's going to be a brunch. Now, I love the brunch, and you'll see pictures here of things I've eaten. The French toast at the brunch is so good. It's one of my favorite things on that ship. So the brunch is definitely worth it. Go to brunch. I think it runs to about 1 or 1:30 in the main dining room. You'll also have up with Vista class ships or ships in that class. Up on the Serenity deck in the adults only section, you'll have in addition to the bar, you'll have a salad bar, kind of a salad counter where you go through and make your own salad. So you pick the things you want, right? And they make your own salad for you. That's adults only though, too. Okay. That whole area is adults only. So yes, that lunch counter, that's for adults only. In addition to the salads, and I know what you're saying right now. Let's stop. Yeah, I know your kid loves salad. Okay. Your kid loves salad. You want to be able to take your kid there and have a salad. I'm sorry. You're going to have to go to the buffet. There is a salad bar at the buffet. Go to the buffet, feed them full of salad. Serenity is adults only all the time, even that place. There's going to be some sandwiches and wraps there as well. Kind of lighter spa type fare. Okay. That's a great place though. On the Vista class of ships. And then you're also going to have a pay item, which is Seafood Shack. That's your only pay item at lunchtime. Seafood Shack. Okay, let me go here. The Seafood Shack. I do really like the lobster roll. It's the only thing I've ever had there. The lobster roll is super good. The fries are the best fries on the ship. Fries are the best fries on the ship. I really do like them. Seafood Shack to me is a little overpriced. Okay. I will still buy the lobster roll because it is really good. It's a little overpriced. The other stuff, whether I've seen a review, whether I've seen people eating it themselves, it just doesn't look that good. It just doesn't look that good to me, and especially, again, for the price. Now, you may really love fried shrimp. If so, hey, give it a shot. You know, if you want to, give it a shot. I don't recommend. No, the only thing, I'm not going to say I don't recommend it because I've not had it. I've only seen it. I don't recommend it based on seeing it. But I do recommend the lobster roll, and the fries are really good. And if they made like a po' boy sandwich sometime with the fried shrimp, I might try that. That might be okay. Otherwise, it just doesn't look that good. It doesn't. So I think that is it for no. Oh, no, it's not. There's even 2 more lunch options. Oh, my God. See, there's a lot to eat for lunch. You will not get through it all. Don't even try. The normal pay restaurants, Cantina de Capotano and Gigi's Asian, at lunchtime, they have special lunch menus that are kind of like noodles, kind of like a noodle house or a noodle bowl. Each place, one's going to be noodles, one's pasta. Come see, come saw, right? So you pick the stuff like the sauce and the stuff you want to go in it or on it, and that's free. So if you want to kind of see what those places are like, what do they look like, what does it kind of taste like, get a general feel for it without paying the upcharge, you can go at lunchtime. And that's available at lunchtime as well. So that's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of places to eat at lunch. And in fact, it's kind of the flip-flop at dinner. Now, before we get to dinner, let me say real quick, that is a sea day itinerary. On port days, Guy's Barbecue is not open. The Serenity Salad Bar place or salad place is not open. I don't believe either Gigi's or Cantina de Capotano is open, and the MDR just serves lunch. It does not serve brunch. Okay, so it's a different menu, more of a lunch-based menu. Everything else, I do believe, is open, but keep in mind it's a little bit different. Those few places are not open, so that's at lunch. Also, before we get to dinner, Carnival still does an afternoon tea. Now, I used to really enjoy it. It could be fun. I didn't go every day, but it was kind of an interesting novelty. It's not an interesting novelty anymore. I mean, it's kind of it's an interesting novelty in that it seems like this is something they really don't want to do anymore. And now that's coming at you from the viewpoint of just 2 different ships. Because for the past 5-6 years, the only ships I've been on have been the Breeze and the Vista. They both go out of Galveston, and they're both my favorite ships. So maybe different ships or different food service on different ships, they handle it differently. When it comes to the Vista, yeah, I know it was, the options are really limited. I mean, I can go get a piece of cake and some tea at the buffet. That's what it comes down to. It just felt like they didn't want to do it. It's Lipton tea, piece of cake, and maybe a little sandwich. That's it. Kind of boring. Kind of, there's other places to eat in the afternoon. You don't have to do it. So that's available. If you have nothing else to do and you're hungry and you just want to try it just in case, maybe it'll be different that time. Give it a shot, but I wasn't impressed. Now for dinner, I'm pretty impressed for dinner, but like I said, it's kind of flip-flop from lunch in that for free at dinner. Let's do free first. This is going to be the quick and easy part. For free, you have the MDR, you have the Lido Buffet, and the deli is still open. The Mongolian Walk is not. The deli's still open. You always have pizza. It's 24 hours a day. And you kind of have Guy's Burgers, which closes between 5 and 6 o'clock. I think technically it's supposed to close at 6 o'clock. But I also think technically if it's a slow day and you get there at 5:45, it's not going to be open. That's what I think. Or I mean, it's going to be open, but they're not going to have anything left. So, but if you want a really early dinner at like 5 o'clock, you could probably snag a Guy's Burger. Yeah. So that's your free options. Now on the pay side, in that area back there, you still have the Seafood Shack, still open for dinner, same menu. My same thoughts on it too for dinner, right? Go have a lobster roll if you want. Great. It's excellent. And the fries. Now, the MDR is fine. It's the typical menu from Carnival. I'll throw a few pictures here. I don't think it's as good as it used to be as far as selection goes and options. You're usually going to have a port of call option, right? It's going to be kind of influenced by whatever port you were in that day. You're going to have the standard salmon, maybe a kind of flat iron sort of steak, chicken, a vegetarian option. I don't know that I've ever seen a vegan option. Sometimes the vegetarian options might essentially be vegan, but you're going to have vegetarian option. I don't feel like you really see the spa options any longer. That used to be very common where you would have kind of a spa option. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. What you see instead now, I'd say, is you see upcharge options in the main dining room where you can get something from the steakhouse or you can get, something from the steakhouse. I think is it. Sent to your table. No, you know what? Sometimes you can get sushi too. Yeah, because I've had sushi in the main dining room sent from the sushi place. So that too. Now, when it comes to pay options are where Carnival is going to shine more. You have the steakhouse. Now, I always do the steakhouse. I've done it since 2002, the very first one on the Carnival Conquest during its inaugural season. I liked it then. I still like it. And if it is your very first time, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. The only thing I don't like about the steakhouse at this point in time as a long-term cruiser is that the menu is a little monotonous. It's there's not very much on it. And it doesn't ever change. So after a while, you kind of get this real been here, done that sort of feeling, especially with dessert. Dessert is the ubiquitous cheesecake that is on every single menu in every single restaurant across the United States. It must be like the easiest dessert to make and keep fresh for a long period of time because it is everywhere constantly all the time. You have that. You also have kind of like a melting chocolate ball, which is horrible. It was not good. I didn't like it. And you have ice cream. Now, in the steakhouse, what you do have is dessert for the table, which is a lot of fun. The chef comes out, he puts on a presentation. The best part about it is the presentation and the spectacle, because otherwise it's just chocolate, maybe some little jellied candy and some ice cream, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with those desserts, except for the melting chocolate ball. They taste fine, but I mean, it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring, especially for an upscale steakhouse. Maybe throw in something different. But if it's your first time, you're going to love it because you're going to love that dessert at your table and you're going to love the steak. But that's what it is steak and potatoes, a couple of different types of potatoes, a couple of different types of steak, maybe a chicken, maybe a fish option. Ta-da. I'm trying to remember if there was even a vegetarian. I think there was a vegetarian option now there. I think so at the steakhouse. Because you're going to go there, obviously, as a vegetarian. You're going to think, yeah, I'm going to go to the steakhouse. No, that'll be right up my alley. So there you go. Steakhouse is excellent. They also have a sushi place, which I already mentioned. I've eaten at the sushi restaurant. I've gotten sushi to go, taken it to the Alchemy Bar. I've had sushi in the main dining room. The sushi place is fantastic. The sushi place is not only excellently prepared, it's excellently presented. It's some of the most beautiful and well-presented sushi I've had anywhere. I've not been to Japan, but anywhere in the United States that I've had it, and I highly recommend it. Now, it's a little pricey, I think, along like with the Seafood Shack. It feels like it's not a fantastic deal, but it's a better deal than the Seafood Shack. And it's always been good, and it always looks good. Okay, so even if you're not eating it, it looks beautiful. So I'm going to say that. Steakhouse is actually a pretty good deal, you guys. It really is. Now, maybe it sounds expensive at $38. Maybe that sounds expensive, but you go to any steakhouse in your local area, it's not expensive, and it's a good deal. It's very well done. And if you go on the first night of the steakhouse, get a free bottle of wine, free bottle of house wine. They don't offer it anymore without asking. Carnival, really? They don't, but if you ask, yeah, no, it is part of the deal if you go on the first night. So keep that in mind. It is part of the deal. Christina de Capotano and GG Asian are two other upcharge restaurants, both very good deals. They're only $15 per person, cheaper for kids. Kids have to order off the kids' menu, though, in that case, so keep that in mind. So it's $15 per person. For a long time, Casino de Capotano was not on my list. I went one time. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. It was okay. I just didn't think it was that special. I don't think there was anything that great about it to go back. I gave it a second chance. There's a lesson to be learned there. I did give it a second chance. Second time, I really liked it. I really liked it. I didn't order the standard Italian fare that I could just get at Olive Garden. I ordered like the fish. It was excellent. It was excellent. I ordered the gnocchi, which was a potato cake. Still excellent. Was not what I expected for gnocchi. I just got like a potato cake. But it is authentic. I looked it up. It is authentic, and it was very good. And the desserts were different. They had like an apple dumpling with ice cream on top. Okay, that's fantastic. I loved that. I love just the fact that it had a different dessert wins me. So it was very good. Great deal for $15. I've not been to GG Asian. Every review I've seen, every picture I've seen, it looks good. It looks like it also is worth $15. I'm going to do that coming up this next time on my Carnival cruise coming up in just a couple of weeks on New Year's Eve of 2021. I'm going to try it then. I'm going to see what it's like. It looks really good. So one restaurant on the ship I haven't tried. Now, there's one other option at dinner. It's a pay option. This is not a walk-up restaurant, though. You do need to book this in advance. As in, they require you to book this in advance, okay? It's the chef's table. There's only 14 people per table, so only 14 people a night. And I don't think they do it on the first night or the last night. So you're looking at 14 people. You're looking at 70 people total on that entire ship of 4,000 people that get to eat there during each voyage, okay? It costs about between $75 and $95. It includes wine. And it is an absolutely incredible meal. It is worth every single dollar. It is a 3-hour on-board culinary excursion. That's the way I look at it. When you pay to get off the boat and go on an excursion, go see a Mayan ruins or zip line or whatever, this is the same thing for a foodie on the ship. It's a culinary excursion. The best one I've had, I've done it twice, once on the Breeze, once on the Vista. The best one was on the Vista. Obviously, you can see these pictures here cycling through. It was incredible. It was technically adept. It was wonderful presentation. It tasted fantastic. I'm doing it again also coming up on New Year's Eve in a couple of weeks. Pardon me, let me clear my throat there. I'm all choked up over it. It was so good. It is really good. I highly recommend it. Now, like I said, what can I say? I'd book it in advance. If you really want to do it, I'd book it before I get there. Sometimes you can still get in when you get on the boat. Not a lot of people do it. It is expensive. Comparatively, it's worth it. It's worth every single penny. It is worth it. I promise you it's worth it if you like food. Okay? But there's sometimes some spots left, but if you really want to do it, I'd book it before I go. I would. I always do. Well, the 2 times I've done it, 3 times now, I've booked it before I go. So that's the other option. Now, aside from those options when it comes to food, I've already touched on room service. You have room service. Everything that's always been free on room service is still free. But quite to the dismay of your average Carnival sailor, there are several new items that are an upcharge. I think they're all $5 a piece, $4 or $5 upcharge for hot items, as they call it. I haven't ever tried any of them. I rarely use room service. I rarely use it. There's also a service charge if you order after 10 o'clock at night. So if you get back to your room drunk and you want to order a whole bunch of stuff, they're going to charge you a little bit for it. And again, I've ordered room service mostly for breakfast and mostly pastry and fruit and coffee. Maybe some juice for my son. That's it. I have ordered stuff from room service over my 20-year history with Carnival. It's always been when it was a free setup. I think got some cookies that were good. Had the brie and roast beef sandwich. That was good. I can't remember what else. Oh, probably nothing. That's it. I don't really like to eat in my room. The rooms on a cruise ship, as a general rule, are not set up for dining, right? So I don't order it, but that is available. I also touched on already the cafe has donuts and some dessert type stuff, like chocolate-covered strawberries and some stuff like that. That's available to buy for food on ships of the Vista class, and I think Mardi Gras. The Cherry on Top candy store has an ice cream parlor within it. There's still ice cream on the back of the ship, so you still have the soft serve ice cream that's pretty much like always available, and you also have gelato sometimes being served back there in the buffet area. But Cherry on Top has an ice cream parlor with ice cream sundaes and banana splits and ice cream cones and sprinkles and stuff, right? So that's also there and available. And then the last thing for food on the ship is going to be the Red Frog Pub. And they've got a limited menu of pub-type food. Like, I think they serve a Scottish egg, which is like an egg, a hard-boiled egg, I think wrapped in sausage and breaded and deep fried, as I recall. A few things like that. I've never tried any of it. I mean, I've never gone to there and thought, oh, I think I'll order some food. Just haven't. It looked good. I've seen a few people with food on their tables. Very few. I don't think people ordered a lot. I don't even know how many people are aware of it necessarily. But it looked good. It did look good. And I did look at the menu once. I think the prices were okay. I think they were reasonable. So that's pretty much it. That's food, on the Vista. Now, if you have any questions about it in particular, please feel free to drop them in comments. I'll be happy to answer them. I'm sure I probably didn't cover every single question here, or every single thing that someone could possibly want to ask. But food on the ship is good. The upcharge restaurants are good. Usually, by and large, a pretty good deal, by and large. And I definitely think you'll enjoy the food on the Carnival Vista. Please join me next time. Next time, I'm going to talk about the Cheers program, tipping on the Cheers program, and on things like the steakhouse or Christina de Capotano, and tipping in general. So that'll be kind of an interesting video, I think. So please join me next time. In the meantime, please hit like, subscribe, and notify so you'll know when that comes out. And we'll take a look at the Cheers program and tipping on the Carnival Vista. Thanks for watching.